Chengdu has over 100 ways to eat noodles, and in today's food adventure, with the help of my friends here in Chengdu, I'm trying as many as I possibly can.
Every noodle spot is different.
You essentially have a craftsmanship for like $1.
If you don't know how to use chopsticks, this is what you do.
Shanghai people, check it out. Yeah, we have bigger windows than yours.
I mean, it goes without saying, you should not watch this video on an empty stomach, so go grab snacks, get comfy, and as always, don't forget to subscribe. Hello, and welcome to another Chinese food adventure. I am on my way to Chengdu. My first stop is actually a little bit outside of Chengdu. I'm visiting a friend on the outskirts. She lives in this river town, and the theme of today's video is noodles. Chengdu is famous for its noodles. There are so many different varieties. Everyone has their favorite store. So I thought in the time that I'm here in Chengdu for the next week or so, I'd ask some of my friends to take me to their favorite stores. So first up, we're going to be visiting Shanshan in Jianyang. You may know her from a previous video we did together in Zhongjiang, where we trauma bonded watching goats being slaughtered, then have their stomach juices extracted to make the famous stomach juice hot pot, which then Shanshan encouraged me to try raw. Turns out nothing builds a friendship faster. Yes. Would you mind introducing yourself for anyone who might be new here?
I'm Shanshan. I am a food journalist in China, and I'm a good friend in Amy.
What's it like living in Jianyang?
It's the chillness, it's the delicious food that it offers.
So this place is called Dandan Tianshui Mian,
甜水面
literally the name of the noodles they sell. Dandan Mian and Tianshui Mian. I love how literal some stores' names can be.
老板好，拿一个担担面，拿一个甜水面。
The first thing you need to know about Tianshui Mian is they're made with these super thick noodles. I mean, you can really see how thick they are when you compare them to the noodles that'll be used for our Dandan Mian. Two very different noodle shapes for two very different noodles. But something they have in common is they both contain lots of different spices and sauces. He's currently constructing the sauce base for the dandan noodles now.
Look at the amount of seasonings and flavorings that goes into a small little bowl. That's why they call like Chengdu the flavor heaven, because like that tiny little thing has like a lot of flavor.
To finish off the dish, they add ground pork and some spring onion.
One of the magic is that it doesn't look like anything, but when you stir, the magic reveals.
This is dandan mian. I would say arguably this is the most famous Sichuan noodle outside of China. Like when foreigners associate noodles with Chengdu, they're always like, oh yeah, dandan mian. But for people who maybe don't know what a dandan mian is, could you help me explain this?
So dandan is actually object. Dandan is the 扁担. A person will have a bamboo and with like two baskets on both sides. Yeah. That's called 扁担. So dandan mian essentially is a noodle that's so easy and simple to make. You can make it like you just carry everything on your shoulder, and then if someone wants it, you just stop and then start making it right there.
That's so cool. I never knew that story behind dandan mian.
Yeah, it's not really a flavor, it's a form of selling. That's why you see have a lot of seasonings, because that's really the whole thing. Like they won't be able to carry a beef brisket in the 扁担, so you have just the basic simple ingredients.
I guess this one's going to be a little bit more on the spicy side. Dandan mian are usually associated with being a bit more spicy. That's so good. I'm in heaven right now. Simple. It costs what, 7 kwai, $1 American.
Yeah.
Essentially.
99 cents.
It's so good. You got a little bit of meat in there. So it's a little bit meaty, and that meat is a little bit on the harder side, so it like adds a little bit of a texture. It's spicy but not too spicy. We also have asked for less spicy because you're not the biggest fan of spicy, right? Maybe I'll ask for him to add a little bit more for me. And then it's like salty. Oh, you've got some bean sprouts in there as well. Oh, I love coming to Chengdu. But now let's try our thick and juicy tianshui mian, literally sweet water noodles.
The sweetness really comes from the brown sauce. So the brown sauce is made with soy sauce, brown sugar.
And you've also got some soy sauce, garlic juice, sesame sauce, chili oil, and some ground peanuts to finish. And here's the final product. Oh, look at those noodles. I'm so excited about this.
Yeah, so you will have 3 different flavors. First bite, you will taste the spicy and then sweetness.
Also sesame as well.
And then the second bite, once you start like chewing on that, you will taste the salty little things with the noodle. It's a perfect balance.
I have to admit, the first reaction you kind of get when you put it in your mouth is, oh, it's sweet. That's interesting for a noodle.
It's not the most familiar flavor, but in a very good way.
These are so thick and juicy and chewy. I love these so much. It feels so nice when you bite down on it.
Yeah.
And you can have a little bit of the spice in the background as well.
Yeah, it's very satisfying. The beauty about tianshui mian is that every single element has to be handmade. You essentially have a craftsmanship for like $1. Like this, you cannot buy it anywhere. It's not sold. This noodle is not sold in any shop.
现在播送江好气象台今天下午6点钟发布的天气预报。成都依然还是灰太阳笼罩上空。
Just arrived in the Chengdu city center, just checked into my beautiful room. I'm really pleased to be partnering with the Mingyuan Hotel for today's video. It's a beautiful hotel right in the Chengdu city center. Actually, every time I come to Chengdu, I like to stay in this area right near Taikuli. It's a really great area to walk around, get coffee, lots of food, lots of shopping. And if you're looking for a restaurant with classic Sichuan food, I could really recommend the restaurant inside the hotel. I tried their mapo tofu and their hui guo rou, which is twice cooked pork, and the flavors were absolutely on point. The room is absolutely gorgeous, got a massive tub here that I will definitely be checking out. Big bed, and check out this view. I'm actually on the, I think it's the 48th floor. And I mean, typical Chengdu weather. It's Chengdu, if you weren't already aware, has a bit of a reputation for being a little bit grey and gloomy because it's actually situated in a basin. So if you come to Chengdu and you see sun, you're actually very, very lucky. So this is actually a very typical representation of a Chengdu view. Taking it all in. And I just have to show you guys this, the sweetest thing ever. They've left me a note, the hotel, and they've drawn me, this is hand drawn by the way, it's a panda eating hot pot. We are in the hot pot city. But of course, no hot pot for us today. On the agenda for today is more noodles, and I've got another good friend showing me some good spots.
You can call me Harry. I'm a translator living in Chengdu. I choose two different noodle shops for us. First one is more traditional one. The other one is owned by a very young owner. It serves like really good traditional Sichuan noodles, maybe with a little bit twist.
So let's try the more traditional store first. I tell you, I love it in China when people use their selfies as their logo. What are they famous for here?
素椒炸酱.
It's roughly translated as vegetarian chili noodles, but as you can see, there's very clearly meat in this. So to explain the story behind the name, we're lucky enough to have the boss himself, the man behind the selfie, break it down for us.
素椒面它就是没得臊子的，也就是没得肉的，因为原来的生活水平，家家要吃肉很难，所以这个面就叫素椒面。最后生活好了。 就炒点臊子，加了就加了个素椒炸酱面。其实并不是说还要需要好多调料，它只需要啥子？只要把你把那个调料的比例掌握好了，它就好吃。
I'm excited to try this.
That's so good. You can imagine that in winter you have this kind of noodle in the morning.
Very comforting noodle.
Yeah.
It's coated with the oil there. You've got little bits of the meat inside. Honestly, it's hard to put a finger on exactly what I'm tasting because, as the boss said, it's just so balanced.
好吃吗？
味道非常好。
有昨天的好吃吗？
都好吃，都好吃，都好吃。
每个开面店的它都有这道面。
Something that only really clicked for me when the very next day, another of my friends took me to her favorite noodle store to have these exact noodles. You've watched my channel for a while, you'll know Elise already. We collabed quite a few times back in Beijing when we were there.
Yeah.
But now you've been in Chengdu for how many years now?
2.5 years. It's crazy.
We were just talking before we turned on the camera and you were saying that this place you're about to take me to now tastes like home for you.
Absolutely. We are about to eat a very classic Chengdu noodle dish. For local people, it is like a comfort food because it tastes like Chengdu and it's got really strong flavors. It smells so nice. And good mixability as well.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how you can tell that like a noodle is cooked well when the sauces actually stick to the noodle. So good, right?
Salty and almost peppery.
Yeah.
It's almost straying into Italian spaghetti territory a little bit. I feel like if you added a little bit of tomato to this, this would almost be a little bit bolognese.
Add a little bit of peanut butter to this.
Oh.
And it could be Thai. My favorite way to eat noodles, the American way to wrap them on your on your chopsticks. Like if you don't know how to use chopsticks, this is what you do.
What do you do?
Okay, so you grab a bunch like this, and then you just twirl them.
Oh my god.
Like that. And then you put the whole thing in your mouth.
Okay, I've got to try this. Oh, it's quite heavy. Get carpal tunnel from this.
Put it down. Put it down.
Okay.
Yeah. Yours is gonna be massive. You just got a ball. But yeah, it's effective.
So yeah, same noodle in name, but a completely different flavor experience from the ones we had the day before. And that's what's so special about sujiao zhajangmian. Every shop puts its own fingerprint on the dish. Do you have a personal favorite Chengdu noodle?
海味面.
Haiwei means flavor of the sea, and these haiwei wontons here feature a variety of dried seafood inside, giving it an intensely umami seafood flavor.
就是虾，有瑶柱，有鱿鱼，有磷虾，还有蘑菇，有冬笋，有火腿，有五花肉，这会加那么多东西。
很多东西。
做外面做海味面哈，它加不到这么多东西，因为加了这么多东西成本太高了。我就是 尽量把品质做好，只要是客人满意就行，做得好吃就行。哦，另外就是用鸡汤熬出来的，就是海味面。
This is how we taste seafood as a Sichuan people.
So, geography lesson. Sichuan is nowhere near the ocean. Back in the day, it was almost impossible to get fresh seafood this far inland, but dried seafood was the exception. It became one of the earliest ways to bring the flavor of the ocean into a landlocked region, and it's been an important part of Sichuan cooking ever since.
This is our toso. It's much bigger than huandun in like Shanghai. Yeah.
Yeah, they're massive.
Yeah. Shanghai people, check it out. Yeah, we have bigger huandun than yours.
I mean, talk about umami. From all of that dried seafood inside, it just hits you in the face more than anything else. It tastes seafoody, but it's just really interesting because there is no fresh seafood in this.
Actually, this is quite hard to spread out of Sichuan because it also requires techniques.
煎蛋，
Wow.
选着吃。
Wow, this is
这个是米其林水平的煎蛋哈，谢谢老板。
哇，上面是番茄酱是吧？
番茄酱，然后自己炒的脆臊，还有那个鱼子。
Wow. Basically, we're gonna eat it like a little taco here.
Yeah.
Wow. It tastes like egg with some crunchy bits inside from the caviar or the fish eggs. And then I can definitely taste the tomato sauce. But it's like your elevated version of fried egg with tomato sauce, which I used to have a lot as a kid. So it's somehow like a little bit nostalgic. Wow, I cannot get over this. Now let's head down the road to the place that Harry describes as a modern take on a classic Chengdu noodle shop. Everyone here is cool,
Like in their 20s.
very fashionable. Probably doesn't surprise you that the owner is super young. I'm here with the boss of this restaurant. 你为什么要做这个面？
就是喜欢吃面，然后没有我们觉得符合年轻人口味，然后又可以大家也可以一起吃的面。对，其实成都的面就是太多样性太多了。对，就想开一家，首先满足自己想吃的。
Today we've gone for two bowls. This one is braised beef soup noodles, and this one I'm particularly excited about. It's mapo tofu noodles.
This is a twist because they are using 脆臊 from Guizhou. In traditional mapo tofu, we have some crunchy beefs. Yeah, but not 脆臊.
And can we take a moment for this noodle mixing? I'm drooling so hard editing this right now. You can't even imagine. It smells really Sichuan peppercorny.
It's good.
It's really good. It's just like mapo tofu with noodles, and then you add the cui shao, which adds like this nice crunchy smokiness. You have to try. It's amazing.
Okay, I'm a 脆臊 lover. Yeah, since I went to Guiyang, I cannot live without it. It's so good. You try this. This is more traditional. This is dried and smoked bamboo shoots. It's a very traditional combination. You make a beef stew with it.
Ooh, you can smell the smokiness in this.
Yeah, from the bamboo shoots.
Oh my god, that's so good.
Yeah.
It's crunchy and juicy.
Yeah.
And smoky as well. I feel like pandas would like that. Let's try the actual noodles. By the way, the flat noodles you see here, they're very traditional here in Chengdu, and they're known as 酒叶面. The noodles are so good. The noodles everywhere, they're just perfect.
Actually, if in Chengdu, you don't make your noodles using your hand. All those noodles are from like small shops. We would consider that the salt is the essence of Chengdu noodle.
I was just thinking that I wanted something sweet, and I was actually telling the boss that there's a noodle restaurant down the road that I really like, their bingdonghua, and she was like, oh, maybe one day we'll have that, but for now, we have this as a tiandian, as a little dessert. 所以这个是番茄、柠檬
还有糖。
有意思. Wow, it's really interesting because it's very balanced flavor, but I'm not used to having tomato in this kind of sweet context.
Actually, in a tomato with sugar is quite traditional in Sichuan, especially in summer. But they put some lemon.
It's a flavor pairing I would not have thought of. It's really good. It's really 很清爽. But I still want to check out 冰豆花 because you haven't.
对，超爱那个冰豆花，很嫩，很好吃。
And I want her to tell me whether this is special 冰豆花 or whether it's just normal 冰豆花. Because for me, it was really quite amazing.
Let's try.
This place is so popular. It's only open for 2 hours a day because they sell out so quickly. The noodles are really fantastic here. But this is what we're here for, the cold tofu, which I think tastes almost exactly like creme brulee, except it's made with tofu. Does this look like other bingdohua you've had before?
Actually, the bingdohua I had before is more complicated. They have more things in it, right? But this is only have like brown sugar syrup, right?
It's incredible. Trust me, it's simple, but it has so much flavor.
Whoa, I have like different bingdohua everywhere, but actually this is the best one I have ever tasted. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you say that.
It's creamy.
Look, it's so jiggly and so soft. On top you have this hongtang made from brown sugar syrup, and all together it combines to be like really creamy, really soft.
It takes the tohua to a new level.
It's
It's so
huh?
good, yeah.
Hey, I'm glad you like it, and I'm glad I could introduce something to you.
Yeah, even in Chengdu. This is a city full of surprises.
But look, I can't take the credit for finding this place, but what I can do is introduce you to the person who introduced it to me. I am so excited to introduce you guys to Wenyue, my friend here. Would you mind introducing yourself?
Hello, I'm Wenyue and I do music.
He is a really talented music artist based here in Chengdu. I actually had the pleasure of interviewing you, a couple of months ago now. It was for the documentary series I've been a part of for the last few years now called Sister Cities. It takes two sister cities in China and the US and shows the connection between them and all the things we have in common. The most recent episode features Chengdu and Nashville, and I'll put the link in the description so you can check that out if you want. I visited his studio, and what I really love about Wenyue is you've studied overseas in Boston, right?
Yeah, Boston.
And then you're back here in Chengdu and you're reconnecting with your roots.
Exactly.
And you'll find a lot of like Chengdu influences in your music. And actually, the background music throughout this entire vlog has been a collection of Wenyue's songs. You can check him out on Spotify. Another thing about Wenyue that you need to know is you're the noodle master.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't call myself the noodle master, but I definitely went to a lot of places.
Tell them how many places you've been to in the last 3 months.
About 60, almost 60. Yeah, but I really love noodles because, you know, a lot of people really hated on Chengdu noodles.
Why?
Because they think it's just very generic. I don't want to say generic, but just very, it didn't taste good. But in my opinion, it's really good. It's like New York pizza, you know? It just have a very specific taste to it, yeah. So we're at Wangjiang Gongyuan. I'm born and raised here, Chengdu. My grandparents, they took me here when I was little. Every weekend, literally every weekend, I come here just to write some, to show my friends. This place is like my hidden gem.
These guys, they're doing the...
You can give it a shot. I can film you.
Really?
Yeah.
They'll let me do it?
I'll ask. Let's give it a shot. 要叔叔，他能不能，你能不能教他，能不能给他讲下这个咋个弄的哟？
Okay. After a bit of instruction, I'd improved a teeny tiny bit. 我看一下你是怎么做的。Oh, hey, cool. Okay. That's so cool. But back to the noodles.
I gave Amy 3 options, but we decided on Lao San Yang, right?
Yes.
The classic. I've been here many times. It's one of my favorite stores.
What do you like about it?
First of all, it's diverse. You got a variety of noodles. It's not just one type of sujiao mian.
Wow, look at this table. First up, of course, Chengdu's favorite noodle, the sujiao zhajiang mian. This is the 3rd time I'm eating it in 2 days, but this one has pickled chili added. But of course, we didn't stop there. We also got chili oil wontons and beef noodles in a tomato broth, and interestingly, mashed potato.
This is really good. This is how old Chengdunese would cook their mashed potato. It's got some like chunks. It's not really like fully like powder-ish stuff. It's got some chunks. It's got some onion and some cabbages. So it's not really greasy.
But before we dig in, of course, gotta get our pickles. But Wenyue is cluing me into a local trick here that's nothing short of mind-blowing. Oh, you put chili oil on your pickles?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, guys watching this video right now will know how excited I am about this. I love my chili.
Can you handle spiciness?
Oh, you betcha. These pickles with chili oil. I mean, what the F is this invention? Is this a thing in Chengdu? This is what people do?
Yeah.
I just come here, get a plate of that with some rice. That's more than that's good for me. And I couldn't resist. I needed to try something combining those spicy pickles with some of that mashed potato. Have you done that before?
Not like that, because we normally eat it separately. It's good?
Try it.
Okay. It's really nice.
Right?
It's your new invention.
But let's get back to the noodles. Let's start with the classic, the sujiao zhajiang mian with pickled chili added. Okay, so this one tastes a lot different to the other sujiao mian I had because it's got the pickled pepper inside, which adds a really nice pickly sourness. Oh, this is so good and actually quite spicy as well. I love how fragrant these are. So what makes a good noodle for you here in Chengdu? Like, what are some of your requirements?
Oh, just every noodle spot is different. Kind of like if you listen to music, but for me, I really like the 60s and 70s, right? Roberta Flack is different from Aretha Franklin. It's different from Nat King Cole, you know, or different from Marvin Gaye. Every spot is different. What makes it good is it's so full. You know, it makes you feel like it's a human's food.
And once you get to the bottom of the bowl, Wenyu has taught me how to make the most of every little morsel, and it involves this steamed egg with minced pork here. Basically, get a big spoonful of it and mix it into the noodles.
Functions the same way as 豆花, right? It's a different texture.
It adds a creaminess. It tones down some of the flavors. It puts like a eggy blanket over everything, like a binding agent.
Exactly.
Brings all the flavors together. That is so good. You know how to eat. It's the first time I've seen someone eat noodles like it's a family style meal. We've got our potato here. We've got our egg here. We've got our noodles here. You're grabbing bits of noodles and mixing it in different combinations.
I think I learned it in Boston because, you know, every time I went to Subway, there's so many options. Olives, green peppers, onions, mayonnaise, different kinds of sauce. So, yeah, I learned it there. I kind of I figured out, you know what, we can do some combos here. But actually, Chengdu people have been doing it for many, many years, many generations as well.
Wow, I never thought I would hear a comparison of Subway and Sichuan Chengdu noodles, but you know, it really works in this context.
Yeah.
What haven't we touched yet?
I reckon, I reckon now.
Hey, you got that from me. You're becoming an Australian by the day.
Hi, mate.
Okay, can't wait any longer. We need to try these chili oil wontons that have been staring me down since they arrived.
You know, my grandma always make it. There wasn't much takeouts or like Meituan food delivery back then, so she would just make me this kind of spicy wonton. Reminds me of her every time I had this food.
Unreal. The wrapper is so soft. The pork inside is tender and the chili sauce is smoky. Okay, so I'm gonna take a leaf out of your book and I'm gonna get creative here.
All right.
Because now I know that it's a possibility. So this is what I'm gonna do.
I bet there are many old Sichuan unks gonna hate what we do right now.
I'm gonna put potato into the empty bowl and just get all those juices, and then I'm gonna get the, you know what, let's go full in. Let's just get the rest of the pickles in there.
You really like spiciness.
I really like those pickles. And then what else can I add to this? Oh, I know, 1 wonton. And then I also need some of this. Behold, the ultimate Sichuan wonton. Let's see how it tastes. You know sometimes how they say less is more? I think I went too far. Guys, that wraps up this noodle compendium, this noodle tour of Chengdu. Thank you so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you're following Wenyu and his music. And to everyone who helped me make this video, thank you. And I've learned so much about Chengdu noodles. And yeah, goodbye from Chengdu. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
塞在峡谷钻雪河里，湖泊却凉却早流，心坎上被烙印。走在红红